what happens when a Division I football player decides that he wants to trade crackback hits for actually cracking backs?
Well, today we're going to find out. We've got Oregon State safety and future chiropractor Jack Kane with us, and we're asking the tough questions.
Yes, we'll ask the tough questions today, okay?
Like, how many times have you heard the same boring speech from Dr. Young?
Well, let's just say I've lost count.
What happens when a chiropractor and a physical therapist get together to make a health and wellness podcast?
Chiropractors and physical therapists don't like each other.
Oh, think again.
I'm Dr. Kathy Lynch, physical therapist who likes to help people move and get stronger.
I'm Dr. Jason Young, an evidence-based chiropractor who uses humor just as much as adjustments to help people get better.
Welcome to the Pitch Podcast.
Remember, there's no I in pitch. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pitch Podcast, and thank you for joining us today. We're joined by Jack Kane, who is a safety. He's a football player for Oregon State football. So welcome, Jack.
Thank you guys for having me.
Good to have you.
Good to have you.
We invited Jack because Jack has, aside from being a football player, he's also been an intern in my clinic this year, and it's been pretty awesome. So, Jack, we just want to ask you a bunch of questions about football, about your internship, about health, and we're going to need honest answers, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So how about if you start with, tell us how you got interested in chiropractic care?
It's actually kind of like an all over the place kind of story. So growing up, we had this auntie who owns her own kind of like PT clinic, but she does it a lot for like the high school boys. And we've always been able to go there, and she's a chiropractor certified, and it got me really into it and like treatment and stuff. But yeah, it was just something I found really fascinating, like fun to do, like fun to watch. And like, yeah, I was one of those kids who like will scroll on Instagram and I'll watch people get their backs cracked. Like it's just that sense of it. But no, and then when I got to Oregon State, I met you my freshman year because like you said, I play safety, and sometimes, you just compress your back a little too much, and it's a nice like relief, and it resets my day sometimes. So no, yeah, that's what really kick-started it.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah. So the idea is to compress other people's backs as a safety. Yeah, and then you send them to see me.
Yeah.
So, Jack, at what point, did you know that this is something that you wanted to pursue as a career?
I'd probably say around my sophomore year of college, honestly. We had a class where we go over like all the professions and all the fields you can go into. And Dr. Young actually came back in after I've seen him around football. I saw him on campus, and he talked about chiropractic and all the awesome things that go with it. And it was just that kind of just like reignited my flame, like talking about like my aunt previous, but like it kind of just helped me get back into it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really interesting because I do those classes, and like whenever I'm leaving the clinic and like my staff's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going over to OSU to talk to students and talk anybody who wants to be a chiropractor out of it. So,
yeah, you got me.
Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, I think I remember that day because I was late.
Yeah.
I showed up late. Yeah. I was on my scooter and it was raining. And yeah, that was not my best work, but apparently it was good enough. So yeah. Good enough. All right. Well, hey, so I know you and Kathy very well. And so I've kept something from you that you guys have in common. And I just wanted to just play a little micro game and see if you guys can figure out what it is. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm going to read some things here that people like you might connect to. Okay. And these are actually people. All right. The first person is Regis Philbin. You might be too young. Do you know who Regis is? You know who Regis is.
I already know this. I must know this.
You know the thing.
I already know it.
Okay,
I
all
know
right.
the thing.
Let's see if you can catch up. All right. Let's see.
I just figured it out on your first clue.
All right. We'll see if you can catch up.
I'm really bad with names.
All right. How about Condoleezza Rice?
No, I'm still.
Okay. Still
all good.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
Now you'll start to get it. Ready? Joe Montana.
Okay. I don't know where we're going with it. But
okay.
Yeah.
You know Joe
that
Montana.
guy.
Yeah. Now you're talking about people I know. Okay. Yeah.
A name I know. Yes.
All right. Jerome Bettis.
Now you lost me again. See, this is when bad things are gonna happen.
Okay. Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn. Yeah.
Okay. Manti Te'o.
Okay. Yeah. Now we're at.
What do you guys have in common?
That we have in common?
Yeah.
Is it the Irish side?
It is the Irish, yes. Yeah, these are a couple of Notre Dame Irish fans.
Yeah, so,
Let's go, Irish.
Yeah, so Kathy, why are you an Irish fan?
Well, I was born and brainwashed as an Irish fan, to be honest.
I'm right there with you. That's similar. Yeah.
My grandfather went to school there, then my uncle went there, and then I had to carry the tradition, so I got my MBA there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And your connection?
Same thing, brainwash. Born and raised. And if, touchdown Jesus, my mom's a big fan. Live in Southern California. We hate SC.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like the rule. It's the rule.
You have to hate SC.
But, no, we even have, like, in our house on the stairs, it's like, play like a champion. Yeah, my mom's all about it. She loves it, yeah.
So you got to play against them last year.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
It was fun while it was fun.
It was fun
While it was
right
fun.
before the game.
Yeah,
It was great.
But it was cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. I bet, huh?
Yeah, it was a cool
That's
experience.
awesome.
Good stuff. Well, and everybody remembers the good old Fiesta Bowl.
I haven't heard that story.
Oh, yeah.
I've lived in Corvallis for 15 years. I've never even heard that story.
It. Let me tell you, Kathy.
Never.
We dominated Notre Dame, in the Fiesta Bowl. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. Well, can we ask you some questions about, like, your life in football, chiropractic, things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with football.
Okay.
So what has been the biggest challenge for you playing football at the Division I level?
For me personally, it's my size. I'm not very tall. I'm 5'10", 180 pounds. So playing Division I football, you get a lot of guys who look like they're built in labs. And so, like, I think that's always been something that, like, deters people from looking at me, and it also, like, works in my favor sometimes because people don't think I can play the way I can play. But, that's probably my biggest struggle, just my size.
Right. So, like, after people get hit, they're not like, well, it's his size. No.
Yeah. Right. Hopefully not, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's got to be kind of tough because it's not like something that there's no chiropractic adjustment for it. Do you have any PT exercises or stretches? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. How has injury prevention changed the way that you approach the game?
Well, now I'm an old man. Like I said, I'm on year 4, and I'm realizing it. I'm feeling it in the weight room and stuff. But injury prevention, it's great, to be honest. Like, we have so many tools and people to help us, like availability and like pre-game stretching, pre-practice stretching before you go out to stretch.
Wait, you stretch before you stretch?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like sometimes that's what I'm saying. You feel old, you're 5. But no, I think it's helped me tremendously with just like in instances of like we do stuff like balance. Like not everything is big weights. Like we do a lot of like resistance training. We do a lot of mobility and stuff. And I think it's helped me a lot, like maintain my body and keep me at where I need to be at and above. And I think like, like soft tissue is always an injury that people get. And it's just that wear and tear. And I think, preventive training helps me with that.
Yeah.
So like you said that you're an old man now, which, okay. Like I got kids your age. But when you came into the program, like what was your attitude towards that stuff where you're like, oh, this is stupid. Yes, I can touch my toes and things like that. Because I used to coach, I coach a lot of youth sports and try and take kids through warm-ups. There's some of them that are just like, this is so dumb. And it's because they have like great resilient bodies. Like how has your attitude like maybe changed towards that over time?
No, yeah, it definitely has changed. But I was like fortunate enough to grow up with like a group of people, like I said, like my auntie was literally a PT, so it was like something I knew was important, but definitely freshman, sophomore year was something that I was like, okay, I can get away with like not doing a certain amount of stuff or like even like getting a certain amount of hours of sleep. Like, I learned how crucial sleep is.
Yeah.
But no, like I think over time, I think the main thing that changed was like how much I do or like the things I choose to do, like figuring out like what I like and I know works for me more so than like, oh, it's not important. Now it is important type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your go-to warm-up routine?
Okay. So, they actually, we have a board and it's all these like band exercises we do before. So like we can do like hip thrusts with band resistance or just different things. And, personally, my favorite is like hip flex. Anything to do with my hip flexors. I love stretching my hip flexors. I always do bad things with my hip flexors. But yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up sleep because I think there's currently a meme circulating the internet. I can't like attest to the validity of the information, but it's something like athletes who don't get enough sleep are like 4 times more likely to get injured. And and I think that's legit. So you young athletes out there, you kids,
go to sleep.
Yeah, get your sleep. I'm always telling my boys. You know my boys.
Yeah.
I'm always telling them like, go to sleep. Oh, I'm going to bed. Well, how am I talking to you if you are asleep right now?
No, yeah,
sleep right now.
Well, let me ask you this. So, do you feel like chiropractic has played a role in your athletic career, and like, what do you see as the impact that it's had? Like maybe like, if you compare yourself to other athletes who like maybe don't use chiropractic. I'm sorry, we'll probably get to PT later, but
all good.
Let's talk about the important stuff first, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, chiropractic, like something that you preach all the time, it's like maintain and well care. And I think people have to realize like we're going over preventative training and rehab and stuff like that, or prehab even. Like it's an idea of like you have to keep yourself in the best condition you can, and chiropractic always helps with that. And I think like sometimes we talk about like joint dysfunction, and people don't realize like you can hurt other things based off one. And why not go to a chiropractor if they're going to go to the main source of the joint or the joint dysfunction? So it's just another like amazing tool that is given to us.
It's a good point. I remember an athlete who, when I started working with Oregon State, he's in the NFL now, and like you can tell who's going to go and play at the next level. Like they have the ability, but then on top of that, they have they have a business-like approach to taking care of their bodies, right? They're not going out and partying and stuff. They go to bed on time, those types of things. And I remember this guy came and he had a hamstring injury, and so they sent him to me so that we could start adjusting his pelvis. And he got better and he was doing good. But man, every single time I was there, he was there. And like this one day I was like, dude, you come like every week, sometimes twice a week to get adjusted. Like, why do you keep coming back? And he said, when I'm out there, and he's a offensive player. He said, when I'm out there and I'm matched up against a defensive player, and I know that it's him versus me, and if I'm at 99% and he's at 100%, I'm going to lose. He said, so I want every last thing on my body, and I want to be confident that I have every last thing that I can get out of my body. And I was like, oh, I've got to use that. I was like, that's good. Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to be a chiropractor. What skills do you think you're going to take from football field to the clinic?
That's hard. Well, first, I think Dr. Young just kind of preached on it. Like, I want to be my very best. Yeah. So I think discipline and my drive to do it, like something we always talk about is I want to be dominant on the field as much as I can, right? Yeah. So why would I want to be dominant in the classroom? And I think that's just the way you approach life. Like, you got to start fast, you got to do the right things, and then you just got to finish everything you do. Yeah. So I think, it's just like my mindset I want to take from, and I guess my experience, like the injuries I've had and stuff, and like the ability to talk to people about like athletics and how to maintain your body. But I think like my business side of it, I just want to be the willingness to like be the best at what I do.
I love that. I know your mom's probably going to watch this because she should. She shouldn't. She should subscribe. I can't.
Smash
she should subscribe.
She should smash the subscribe.
Your
button.
mom should subscribe, and everybody's mom should.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and like your mom is kind of famous around Oregon State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
there we
right.
go.
Yeah. What's the story? Like, why does everybody at OSU know your mom?
So the story is really simple. My mom makes this poster, and it says, "Try not to suck, love mom." And well,
that's great.
I have 3 other siblings, and growing up, my brothers and I were all 2 years apart, and we all played baseball growing up. And it was kind of like, we have a little sister, and you know how little kids are. Like, she's not going to sit at the game. No shot. Like, she wants to go play with her dolls. Yeah. And like, my mom would just line us up and be like, "Are you going to play well today? Are you going to win? Are you pitching? No? All right, well, try not to suck." And and I hope you guys know, like, my mom is a great woman. Like, she always takes care of us, does everything for us. It was more of a sense of like, hey, like, she's not oh, you're the best and all this. She's like, no, if you suck, you suck. Like, don't suck. That was the story. So it's a good little chip.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
We get to hear about your mom sometimes, and I know I brought her up because I think that if she watches this, she's probably going to be so proud to hear that you're taking those types of lessons as far as like discipline and stuff like that into really important areas of your life. Football's important. Football's super important. But there's more important things, you know, like your education, relationships, your work and everything. So that's great.
Well, like it's also really important to know like football ends. Like it's not going to be here forever. So like one of my coaches always preached like, no matter like how far you go or where you take it, you got to understand like long-term goal is school. Like that's what the degree is going to get you. That's what's going to build your career. That's what's going to build your foundation. But yeah, so.
Yeah. Jack, chiropractic is forever.
Yeah. No, I could do it forever.
I hope not. No.
Chiropractic ends after 12 visits.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you've been doing the internship in my clinic where it's actually finals week. So thank you for taking the time to come in and do this with us. So we're through your internship. Can you tell us, like, what are some of the things that maybe you learned during your internship that were eye-opening to you or surprised you? You're like, I don't want to be a chiropractor anymore.
No.
I brought you full circle.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's terrible. No. I think the first thing that I noticed, like the first major thing I noticed was just your connection with people. And I found it like really interesting to think about because like, you know, when you think of a doctor's office, I don't think like people are that close with like their doctors and everything, but like the connection you have with people is unreal. Like, you know what's going on in their life. They know what to ask. And like, it's just a great energy that you bring. And like, you can tell people are excited to be there. Like, and of course everyone wants to get their back cracked. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
That's really
But it's nice to know like people aren't there like, oh, I'm here just to get my back cracked. The room's quiet. 10 minutes later, you're like, all right, see ya. It's like there's a real connection that you're building. So I think that was the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed was how like family oriented your clinic is. Like literally, I mean, your kids work there. Your Mrs. Young, shout out Mrs. Young. She works there. She takes care of everyone. And you have like Jed, Aubrey, and you just add Lily. Like your staff is amazing. Like the connection you guys have is very like genuine, I feel like. And I've been in places and like around certain teams and stuff like that where like you can tell when there's a genuine connection and stuff feels forced. And it just feels like a home, like a second home almost.
Oh, that's very nice, especially considering that I hadn't submitted your final grade yet, and so that's going to bump you up a few points, I'm sure.
Huh?
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, you're up to a solid B now, sir.
Okay.
You keep working hard.
You let me know.
No, but that means a lot for you to say because we do a lot to take care of that, right? That's something that we protect and we like to have that connection. I think that's one of the things that actually drew me to being a chiropractor, and I know that that's why you own your own PT clinic is because they're like when you get into something like this, especially if you're getting into it on purpose, you want to be in a situation where you can control the type of healthcare that you're providing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And it's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off.
I was just saying like that's another aspect I love about it. Like chiropractic, like you have your own hours, and this is like selfish, of course, but this is me saying like, I want to be a family man. Like, I want to be able to go to my kids' games.
Right.
I want to be able to be there and create my hours so that, like, you know, like some mornings I'm going to be the one that takes my kids to school. We'll go get breakfast. Like, you know what I mean? And no, I think it's awesome. Like, as crazy as it sounds, you literally live what I envision myself trying to be. Like,
oh, I'm so sorry.
No, but it is true.
No, but you're right. It's fantastic, and the autonomy and being able to take care of patients the way that you want to take care of them, and then also like the majority of chiropractors own their own business, which that was one of the things that initially to me was really exciting about it. Is I wanted to own a business where I knew that every day I was helping people, and so chiropractic sounded like it would be really easy to become a chiropractor, and so I was wrong. But it's really, really satisfying. And so, that's, I'm really glad that you're doing that because that's one of the things that lifestyle can provide for you. And so you can make it whatever you want to be. And I know that you talked about like some of your early PT experiences. It was just like, here's exactly what you'll do, Kathy. And so,
yes. Those early jobs shaped the way that I like to build the culture at our clinic. And I think what you talked about early on about how people come in to see Dr. Young and there's a connection. Well, there's actually studies that show that people get better if they have a good relationship with their therapist or a chiropractor. So
that's
weird. Why he turns on the charm.
Yeah, why would that work?
I don't know.
You should see him after hours. Totally different guy.
Are they gone?
Did they leave yet?
Oh my god!
All right, so if the NFL comes calling, are you going to put chiropractic school on hold?
Yeah, and I hope they do call.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. If you would have said no, I would have answered for you and said, "Actually, sir, yes."
Sir.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah. Well, obviously, like that's my dream. That's why I play sports, and that's why I'm here at Oregon State and everything. And I'm gonna give everything I got to do it and get it done. But like we talked about, like even if that happens, eventually stuff ends, and I would like to like pursue a business like we were talking about. So yeah.
There's a former Irish player, is now a PT.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David Bruton, and played for Denver Broncos when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went back to PT school. He went back to my school, University of Colorado.
There you go.
So now he owns his own PT clinic in Denver.
That's
so
awesome.
that's what you can do.
Yeah, hopefully, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. And if you got to go play in the NFL for a few years,
Yeah,
I know.
I know of a small chiropractic clinic in Corvallis that you can buy for just $2 million. So you get that rookie contract. Don't spend it all.
You should tell KT.
Don't spend. Oh yes, definitely.
Katon, lock in KT.
That's right.
$2 million.
Yes.
You owe me anyway.
Let's go, Todd. Yeah. I told you the story about why I call him Todd, right? Yeah. So Katon, like, I don't know if that name really like translates well across the closed captioning on the Jumbotron, but one game, his name is Katon Oladapo. And the announcer said, Katon Oladapo. And on the closed captioning, it said, Todd Oladapo. So he's in my cell phone as Todd now. And sometimes I can't remember his real name. So, yeah.
Let's just go with Todd.
My phone says kitten every time. Just call him Kitty.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's like, so the pronunciation of your name, like everybody says Jack Kane, right?
Yeah.
And so my daughter, you mentioned my kids work at the clinic. So my daughter is, she's a senior at OSU. And she was always like, Kane, that's not how that name is said. That's Kane, right?
Crazy, huh?
And so, like, we would call you Kane around her, like, whenever we'd have conversations and stuff like that, just so that she would, like, get it. It's Kane. It's not Kane. So my wife was doing the voice to text once when we were driving, and she's like, she was trying to send her a message, and she's like, hey, Kane said that he would blah, 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 blah. And so then when it translated the message, it was like Connie said that she would. So yeah, you're affectionately known as Connie.
I am Connie
in our home now. So yeah, that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about recovery, health philosophy. We're going to see if we can squeeze every last bit of this information out of you. I know you probably feel like you've already answered all the questions, but we got a couple more for you.
Okay.
All right. From an athlete's perspective, what's the biggest myth about recovery?
I think the biggest myth is that recovery is getting like a massage every day or like scraping and stuff like that, which is all, like, it's all great. It's not bad, but like I think people like a lot of the time forget like movement is medicine. Like we got to get moving, you got to strengthen things, you got to do.
This guy's speaking that language.
Yeah, I've been in the building.
Hey, she's trying to make you a PT. Don't do that. No.
No, but I think like that's a big myth about it. I also think like people gotta understand like it's not a one-day thing. Like just because like it hurt today and you did a couple things and you feel better doesn't mean your body's actually better. Like so I think a big myth that people think is like you can go in like, oh, only when I'm hurting. Like I think recovery is something you do every day. Like your body's always sore. We're always working out. We're always practicing. There's something you can work on. And I think like okay, for spring ball, we're in spring ball right now.
Yeah.
I think a big thing that people forget is like you do all of this stuff and you're always practicing. You're running around as hard as you can and everything. Like you need to treat your body the same way on the practice field as you do in the recovery. Like it's just as important. Like that's how you keep yourself out of that room. Like, that way you don't have to go do recovery all the time. Always have to go do rehab. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, that's good. So what's one thing that you would recommend? I mean, because you've been at this for a while. Like,
I'm an old man.
I mean, but it's not just even like your senior year of college. It's like nobody gets to their senior year of college football without having played a bunch of years in the past. And so you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that you would tell athletes to do to help them ensure like some longevity that most of them aren't?
We're going back to it. It's just prehab. I think you got to get ahead of stuff. Like you can't wait to get hurt to start taking care of yourself. And I think like something that I would do like from a younger age, if I like looking back with like recovery, is I'd create like a daily plan. Like even if it's something that's like really small or just something I can like get through. And then as injuries and bumps and bruises happen, then you start tweaking like specific areas. But like just maintaining like a nice schedule, like shout out my friend Easton. He had like going in freshman year, like he had it. He had the routine that he goes through. He does his rolling and his stretching every night and like has certain things. And he really helped me like open my eyes up to like, okay, I need to like keep a nice little like routine that I have. So it's not all over the place. But yeah, I think that's like something that helps.
All right. This is your turn, Jason.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I don't think it is. Because I think I just asked that question.
You did? Can you get this one in the post?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're gonna get this in post.
Not really.
We're live.
We're leaving.
We're live all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the way live.
All right. Fine. What's your take on mobility versus strength when it comes to injury prevention?
I think it depends. I think depending on like the severity of the injury too. I think mobility is very key. Like there's a lot of weird movements you're gonna do that you don't expect to do.
Oh, you've been watching me.
Oh yeah. Like there's just things that like your body's not used to, and like you can train to do certain things, but it's always nice. I think mobility is like a big thing because I think a lot of us aren't hydrating enough is the first thing to say. And then you get like muscle tightness, you get soreness, and then that's when things you give, And strength is nice, like once you're injured, like rebuilding the strength. Like you got to give your muscles and everything time to heal, and then you got to build it back up. But I think for prevention, I think mobility is more important. I think we all try to be as strong as we can, so.
Did he answer that correctly?
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay, good.
I would agree with
This
that.
is a test, guys. I'm getting tested right now.
I would give him an A.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. You're up to a B+. Okay. Here's your chance to kind of turn it around and get yourself into A territory.
Okay.
I want to give you a moment to kind of like, wrap it up. Kind of share like, what are your thoughts about your personal experience, whether it's football, your internship, and things like that? Like, what's the important stuff for people to know?
Just about me?
About you, this whole journey for you, anything?
I think there's a couple of things. I think the first thing I want to say is like what we're doing, like what you guys do, and I have much respect for you. And like people understand we're athletes and like we're always training, we're always doing stuff, but like you guys are the real life heroes. Like you guys are there as much as we're there. You're there for us. You're always taking care of people. Like the first thing I thought, I think like PT and I think chiropractic is somebody's coming in who is injured, and that means like as an athlete especially, you're coming in mentally hurt. Like emotionally hurt. Everything you work for is taken away from you. You're just trying to get better, and you are the people who pick us up. So I think like it's really important to know like that you got to be that for people. Like that is something you guys signed up to do, and it's
oh my gosh, we're like first responders now. We're like firefighters.
But like you are like an athlete's like safe like angel almost. I would say like you guys take care of everything, and like that's your job, so I hope you do it well. Yeah. But it's also like, thank you for doing.
Now we're gonna have to publish this podcast because we need people to know this.
Yeah, they gotta know. They gotta know. And
thank you. That's really nice.
First time I've been called an angel.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I'm Irish, so yeah, there you go. I gotta throw in the Saints. You guys are Saints.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but and then I think like with my internship with you, thank you again so much for allowing me to do that. It's crazy, but no, I had such a great time, and you opened my eyes to like so much more, like talking about like, and you have your own clinic now. So like, I got to learn the business side, obviously, and that's going to be important. And I like the ability to maintain in the beginning years when you don't have everybody and like making those connections. You just showed me like it gets better. You get through things and you can move on. So I think that was like, I know we're supposed to be talking about like the internship and chiropractic and football, but I think like the life lesson I learned is sometimes you just gotta put your head down and get through stuff.
Yeah.
Grinding season.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
I think I got to learn about the business side too.
Yeah, I think well, and that's the funny thing is I'm sitting here thinking, man, I should learn more about the business side. Well, and I think that kind of brings up a funny point is at any point in our lives, it's very easy to look at other people and think they've got it, right? They've got it made, they've got it figured out and everything like that. And I'm sure that like there's people that look at you and they're like, the dude is a Division I football player and like he's got it, right? Yeah. And I'm sure you probably don't always feel like that. And it's funny listening to you describe me like that because like I don't always feel like I got it, right? Sometimes it feels like you're just running from crisis to crisis to crisis. But I think one of the things that we can do is if we do that with grace, then we can help other people along the way. So a person who popped into my mind while you were saying all those really nice and mostly undeserved things about my clinic is a guy named Rod Holland, who he was a chiropractor in this community. And so I went to high school with his kids and everything. And Rod was in the Air Force. He drove around this Corvette. He was a really cool guy. And when I was in chiropractic school and I'd come home here to visit, he would always let me come and shadow in his clinic. And he was the guy who taught me that it is okay to have fun while you're doing healthcare. And so he was joking with patients and smiling with patients. And sometimes, and you've had this experience too, sometimes I would hear the same joke about 13 times in the same day, right? But everybody got to, Scott's our engineer, he's over there laughing because he hears a lot of my same jokes over and over and over. Stop nodding your head. Stop nodding your head, Scott. But no, Rod taught me that like you can have joy and fun in helping people sometimes through the worst day of their life, right? And for me, that's incredibly satisfying. I care more that people laugh and have a good time when they come to the clinic than that they get a really good adjustment. They're just lucky that they can manage to get both, right? But yeah, so, and I think that that's an important thing is that, first of all, I appreciate that you see that in us. Kathy is very much the same way too. And I think it's also important to acknowledge that like we didn't grow that within ourselves, right? We get it from other people. And so that's what mentorship is about. And what I'm really excited for is one day when I go to, Dr. Jack's fancy chiropractic clinic and, and hopefully you still stay on that road, become a chiropractor, but whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you become, like hopefully one day we get to show up and see you, passing on some of those lessons and those same experiences that people passed on to us. So that's really cool.
I can tell you, if I do become a chiropractor and I own my own clinic, I have your whole new patient.
Yeah, you do. You have it memorized. Yeah, it was
we'll
funny.
Sit there and like I know exactly what's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I'm grabbing the things I need to grab.
One day some lady called an audible and like I was like, well, let's talk about what you've got going on. And she was like, I want to hear it from him. And I was like, and I just looked at him and he's like, I got this. So he stood up, grabbed the spine, starts going through the whole thing. He even nailed all the jokes, perfect timing. I was like, holy
That's what made me memorize it though, the jokes.
I was like,
because I kept hearing the jokes. So like everything else kind of got memorized. I was like, all right.
This could be the smartest person that we've ever had in the clinic. So
no way.
No, it was awesome. And she was blown away at the end. Right? Yeah, she hasn't come back. But yeah.
That's the goal though.
That is true.
You only get to see them once.
Yeah, you keep working on it.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. Well, to wrap up, first of all, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much for coming.
And we're just excited somebody wants to be on our dumb podcast.
Yeah.
But we want to play a game with you.
All right.
Okay. We're calling this. Hang on, I'm going to adjust the laptop so we can see it. Actually, we got to maneuver this so that you can't see it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So All right. You just stay where you are. You're fine right there. But this is described as a fun, fast-paced game where Jason and Kathy give Jack different scenarios related to football, health, and chiropractic.
Oh, gosh.
And he has to respond with the first thing that comes to your mind. No overthinking.
No overthinking.
Okay, and to ensure that, I've got a 30-second timer that's here on my iPad. Now, I do need to mention that Apple is not a sponsor. That's not why I brought up iPad.
Not yet.
But Apple,
Not yet. That's a good answer.
If you're listening, right? Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. So, Jack, you're going to have 30 seconds, and we are going to read off some situations, some scenarios, and if you can respond to all of them within 30 seconds and the time doesn't run out, then you win. What does he win, Kathy?
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Bragging
yeah,
rights.
We're gonna have to come up with some sort of prize.
Yeah, there's got to be some swag.
Yeah,
An
there's
internship.
gonna be. We're gonna get you some swag.
big
Right?
prize.
You will get an A+.
That's
an
right.
A+. Right. Okay.
Wait, 30 seconds for every question?
You
Or
got
each-
there's
like first word?
There's 11 situations.
All right.
Okay, and you've got 30 seconds.
30
okay?
seconds. All right.
And so I'm gonna be in front of the timer or in charge of the timer. Kathy, you want to just read all the questions and then I'll just keep my eyes on the timer.
Okay.
All right, we ready?
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Number
Get
one.
set. Go.
Okay. You're running late to class, but you're hurting. Adjustment or foam rolling?
Adjustment.
You wake up stiff after a game. Ice bath or movement?
Movement.
Okay. You can only do one exercise for the rest of your life. What is it?
Back squat.
You can permanently ban one football drill. What is it?
EDDs.
Okay. Worst pain, turf burn, helmet to helmet hit, or post leg day stairs?
Turf burn.
You're building the ultimate athlete. What's the number one quality they need?
Height.
Super Bowl ring or never ending perfect spinal health?
Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. You're in chiropractic school. What's your niche? Sports, wellness, or nutrition?
Sports wellness.
Okay. What's the best anime show ever created?
Attack on Titan. It's the only one I was confident in.
You lose a bet and you have to wear the jersey of which college football player for a month?
College football player? Probably Katana Ladapo. Probably my bet.
Okay, if you're in a situation where you needed to secretly signal for help, I think I know your answer. What coded phrase will you use to tweet alert others to alert others you're in trouble?
Yeah, that's probably we probably hit one of those. If you know what this is, you know what this is. Easton and Achilles. That's you guys.
All right. Well, I think that you were just outside of 30 seconds. Actually, maybe just inside. We're gonna have to review the tape, but
That's all right.
Well,
Let's go back.
you got swag coming your way.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you to our guest Jack Kane. It was so awesome having you here. Appreciate it.
Really fun. Thank
and
you.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you, dude. This is great.
Hopefully.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to one day see you in the NFL, so I can cheer for the other team. No, just kidding. No,
That's a good one, huh?
Yeah, because
That's
then you
all
get to
I
become you become a chiropractor faster. So, and I think that there's a lot of people who could really use you. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. So thank you all for watching. We appreciate you tuning into The Pitch. Remember to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, follow, activate your notifications, just all the technology. Just technology it up. Everything.
do it.
Hey, and you know what? You can even leave us a review or a comment. That helps us out a whole ton. Follow the PTCH on social media. We've got Pitch Podcast on Instagram or on YouTube. And if you want, send in your questions. We'd love to hear what you would love to hear about. And finally, remember, there's no I in pitch.